Hello. Yes, I have a face. Um, I guess I can do this video while I'm kind of drinking coffee, having breakfast. Uh, it's a bit of an update on my project for now, and that is the Amocan PC. I have so much to do right now, I don't even know where to start. My plan is to install USB 2.0 in the front, the power button, this small 80mm fan. I don't know how I'm going to do any of this. I also want to install a system speaker, but I don't even know if it's possible because the motherboard does not support computer speaker. So yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. We'll see. These are going to be the feet for the Amocan PC. I'm just going to cut the plastic off and either glue them in place or epoxy them or bolt them on somehow. I'm leaning towards epoxy just because it's easier. There are a lot more constraints in this build than before, so it's going to be quite challenging. But the reason we're in the garage right now is because I have to build a button. Well, I don't have to, but I want to. My idea is to have two casings. They fit inside of each other quite nicely once I cut it down. So one of them will be glued to the chassis, so the part that does not move, and the other part will have a bolt threaded in through the bottom into the primer cup, and the bolt head will keep the two pieces together, and there will be a spring inside which will allow the button to pop back out again. Otherwise it's not much of a button. So it'll be kind of a self-contained thing with a bolt through it, and the bolt is what will actually depress the micro switch. So yeah, kind of complicated. We'll see how that turns out. Hopefully it will not be a complete mess. So this is the actual button that will be protruding out of the case. There's just a little spring in there providing some tension. This is the power button hole, and this is the power button that will fit inside. My plan is to cut the bottom out, or maybe just cut a hole for the fan. I'm probably going to mount the 80mm fan somewhere on the bottom. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do the power supply cooling yet. I don't really want to cut a hole in the side, so I'll probably just drill some holes, make it look nice. And then the window is going to be on that side. I'm going to have to mount the motherboard with standoffs backwards. So usually when you mount a motherboard, the top of it, you know, is facing up or out or something, and the standoffs are behind it. In order for this to work and for anyone to appreciate the aesthetics of what I've been doing, it's going to have to be mounted from this side, facing that way. So the standoffs will be somewhere along the bottom and top and sticking into the chassis a good inch or so, or a few inches actually, and then it's screwed, and the motherboard will be screwed on from this side. We'll see how that turns out. I have no idea if it's going to work. I might have to do something else. But anyway, right now I'm just filing this whole square. Alright, so I'm still waiting for parts for my new build. So while I'm waiting for a bunch of that to show up, I'm doing some work on some things that I do have. So I just got the power supply from Canada Computers, I believe, or Canada Central. Anyway, one of those Canada PC supply places. So I've already begun to sleeve some stuff. This is the SATA connector. I didn't do a very great job of it, but this is my first time sleeving something, so I mean, SATA connectors are not a huge deal. They're kind of going to be out of the way, but I think I did a fairly decent job for a first timer. I also sleeved some power cables for my custom power button. This was a total DIY job. None of this was really pre-made. I had to cut these DuPont connector headers myself. Sorry, I'll get that in frame here. So this is a DuPont connector, and it actually came off of a piece of a USB header. This is actually a guy line from a tent, but it's a nice thin wire and it's kind of cool looking for the power button. So this is just the button part of it. This isn't the actual mechanism that you'd be pressing. That I made a different day. I still have yet to actually do anything to the case. I haven't cut anything. I've made a marking for the button, but that's it. What else? That's pretty much it. I mean, I have a ton of brass that I can use somehow, or well, I might be able to use somehow. I have some ideas, but the motherboard and the RAM are supposed to show up today. So if they do, that would be nice, because that's all I'm waiting for in order to actually build the computer. So I'm going to build it with my custom sleeve cables and hope and pray to God that it turns on. If I messed up somewhere in the cables, I'm screwed. Whew. Lots of stuff to do, and I still have to actually make sure the computer works once I get the motherboard. So, fun stuff.
Black scandal bag, you sit in a bamba